Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you love eerie, what if stories that bend the mind and stir the imagination, this is the place for you. Now, let's step into the dark. What if the earth fell into endless night? The moment it began, the world didn't notice. It started subtly. Sunrises came slower, shadows lingered longer. Scientists measured the difference. Seconds at first, then minutes. The news called it an astronomical anomaly, something fascinating but harmless. But deep down, something primal stirred in every human being. The unease of knowing light was retreating. Then, one day, it simply didn't come back. Across the earth, dawn failed to arrive. Clocks said morning had broken, but the sky remained heavy, black, infinite. People opened their curtains expecting sunrise, only to find their neighborhoods swallowed in darkness. Airplanes circled above cities with floodlights, searching for an answer. But there was no sun. Governments declared states of emergency. Power grids surged as every lamp, every bulb, every beacon flickered on at once. Humanity tried to push back against the night with electricity, but no amount of light could replace the warmth that vanished with the sun. Within a week, temperatures plummeted. Crops shriveled in their fields. Animals wandered aimlessly, confused, as if time itself had broken. Ocean currents shifted, storms brewed endlessly over black seas, and forests stood silent, like graveyards of trees. But it was not only nature that changed. People did too. First, there was chaos. Looting, riots, cities ablaze with artificial fires against the void. Then, there was silence. As the endless night dragged on, something ancient awoke in humanity. The instinct to adapt. Engineers built massive glowing towers, the second suns. They burned with electricity and fusion, pulsing like bright hearts in the centers of megacities. Around them, life clung desperately. Markets reopened under neon skies. Children played in streets bathed in artificial dawn. People told themselves, we can survive this. We can build our own day. But beyond the towers, the world was different. Those who lived too far from the suns began to vanish. Whole towns disappeared into the black. Their houses found days later, frozen, silent, sometimes with doors left wide open. Travelers swore they saw figures moving in the forests. Tall silhouettes with glimmering eyes, watching but never speaking. Rumors spread of the night wanderers. Once human, they were said to be people who had lived too long in the endless night, transformed by it. Their skin turned pale, their eyes learned to drink the faintest starlight. Their voices became whispers carried on the wind. Some guided lost souls back to the towers. Others lured them away, deeper into the dark. Children whispered legends of monsters with hands like shadows, slipping under doors. Scientists dismissed it until a live broadcast cut out mid-sentence, showing only a pair of glowing eyes in the last frame. And always the question remained, where had the sun gone? Some believed it had died, burned out in a cosmic accident. Others claimed it had been stolen. Conspiracy theorists insisted a colossal being roamed the universe, feeding on stars, consuming their fire like fruit plucked from an orchard. They called it the harvester. If that was true, then Earth was not the first world to fall into night, only the next in a long line of prey. And somewhere, in the endless black above, something vast and unseen was watching, waiting for humanity's fire to flicker out. The second suns hummed on. Cities glowed faintly against the void. Humanity fought to keep the dark away. But deep down, everyone knew. The night was infinite, and it was only just beginning. 100 years in the endless night. 100 years had passed since the sun vanished. By now, most of Earth's surface was unrecognizable. Frozen oceans stretched like black glass. Forests lay buried beneath mountains of snow, and once great cities stood as silent, crystalline ruins. Only a handful of places still glowed with life, the cities of light. Each one was built around an artificial sun. Massive orbs suspended high above, pulsing with plasma and fusion energy. They were not perfect. Their warmth never matched the real sun, and their glow never reached far. Beyond their edges, the night pressed in, endless and absolute. Generations born into this world had never seen a true sunrise. They lived beneath domes of glass, surrounded by gardens of bioengineered plants that thrived under artificial rays. To them, daylight was not a memory but a myth, a story whispered by elders who remembered the last dawn. Society had changed too. Time itself was different. With no rising or setting of the sun, humanity created a new calendar. The cycle. 30 days of light, when the artificial suns burned at their brightest, followed by 10 days of dimness, when energy was saved. Children counted their birthdays not in years, but in cycles of light. But the cities of light were not safe. Beyond their shimmering barriers lived the wanderers. A century of darkness had changed them even more. They were no longer human in any sense. Their bodies elongated, their skin smooth and gray like polished stone. Their eyes glowed faintly, as if carrying stolen stars within them. They lived in the night comfortably, moving silently, hunting the careless. Sometimes they came close to the cities, standing at the barrier of light, watching. Always watching. No one knew why they never attacked in full force. Some believed they feared the artificial suns. Others thought they were waiting for the day the last one burned out. And then there were the cults of the night. Not everyone wanted the light. Whole groups of people, born into this endless black, began to worship it. They believed the night was not a curse, but the true form of the universe, that the sun had been a lie, a distraction. These cults painted their skin black, extinguished fire wherever they found it, and whispered prayers to the darkness beyond the stars. Meanwhile, scientists worked tirelessly. For decades, they sent probes into the void, searching for the missing sun, searching for anything. Most never returned, but one did, and what it showed terrified even the most rational minds. The probe had drifted far, further than any human craft before it. There, at the edge of the observable night, it captured a shadow moving across the stars. Vast, featureless, and alive. A shape so enormous it dwarfed entire constellations. The harvester. It was real, and it was still feeding. One by one, distant stars blinked out, as though someone were plucking them from the sky. The scientists knew what it meant. Eventually, the cities of light would not matter. Humanity could build 1,000 artificial suns, but the universe itself was being devoured. The question was no longer how do we survive the night? It was how do we escape it? So now, the cities of light had a new dream. To build ships large enough to carry millions, powered by fusion, guided by hope. To find a new home before the harvester found them. But the night was infinite, and in the silence, the harvester watched. The story of the endless night doesn't end here. Want to know if humanity escapes? Or if the harvester finally comes for Earth? Subscribe now and join the journey into the unknown.